All right, guys, I wanted to give you a little guidance on day 8, triangle theorems. So first thing I want to recall is the triangle sum theorem. Hey, we just add all the angles together and they equal 180. Okay, so 90 plus x plus 54 plus x plus 44 equals 180. Here, we just solve for x. And if you notice, it wants the measure of angle A. So we need to go back and plug it in. That's what we're doing here. So on down here, this is exterior angle theorem. Inside plus inside equals the outside. Okay, so that is going to look like this. In plus in equals out. And so inside plus the other inside equals the outside. Okay, so we just add those together, solve for x. We're all done on that one. So number 10 is really similar. So all of these are still exterior angles, so we're going to use in plus in equals out. And so again, in plus in equals outside, and that's where all of this came from. So remember, we combine like terms, solve for x, and if you look at the directions, it actually asks us to solve for x. So once we get here, we're done. Now this one is a little bit different. It's the same in a lot of respects. It just has this extra step. So after we do the in plus in equals out, we find x, which in this case is 12. Then we actually are looking for the measure of angle E. We're not looking for x anymore. So once we find x, we go and plug it in. So E is 4x plus 12. So I take the 12 and plug it in, and I end up with 4 times 12 plus 12. And then this is my answer. Okay, number 15 through 18 is just finding the segment that's parallel. And so if you remember, parallel lines run next to each other like this. So it says EF is parallel to what? So this is EF, and there's only this one segment in the triangle that is actually parallel, and it's MP. So that's what it's asking us for here. Next section, all the way through number 28 is mid-segment. And so this is a mid-segment, this line running across the middle of the triangle. And the formula for this is 2 times the mid-segment is equal to the side. And so what we have is we end up with, if we're given 12, we divide by 2 to get 6. Or if we're given the 6, like we are here, we multiply by 2 to get the 12. Okay, and then when you run into the algebraic expressions, we have to rely on this formula. So this is 2 times the mid-segment equals the side. Well, here's the mid-segment. 2 times this equals this. And we just set the algebra up exactly like that. Then don't forget we distribute the 2. That's how we get the 4x plus 42. And from there, the process is exactly the same, just using algebra. Again, pay attention to your directions. It's asking for x. So once you get there, you can stop. You don't have to plug it back in. Now, 27 and 28, you do have to plug those back in. Same thing. 2 times the mid-segment equals the side. Distribute the 2, solve for x, and then you have this extra step because it wants EG, which this is EG. That's x plus 24. So we take the x that we found plus 24, and that gives us our answer. So if you're struggling and not sure why your answer is not given, it's very likely that you have an extra step to go. All right. Number 29 through the end of the paper is actually median and what we call centroid. So median deals with the outside of the triangle right here. And medians actually just split that side into 2 equal pieces. So for this one, it says KJ is 4. And so what is this little piece here? Well, it's half of it because these 2 must be the same. Okay. And then the next thing, hang on, sweetheart, I'm almost done, okay? Sorry, guys. So centroid divides the line into 3 equal parts, and that's what it looks like when it's inside the triangle. So it divides it once where the 2 lines meet, and then divides it again on that long piece into 3 equal pieces. So if QV is 1, that's this little short one, then what is LV, the whole thing? Well, if this is 1, then this has to be 1, and this has to be 1. So 1, 2, 3. So it's 3. Okay. Similar thing here. We divide it here where the lines meet, and we divide that long piece into 2 pieces to give us 3 total pieces. So TC, this short one here, is 8. So that means this one is 8, and this one is 8. But here it asks us to find VT. Well, if you look, VT has 2 8s in there. So that would be 16, right? So coming down to 38, we go back to median. And if you notice, I'm putting an M and a C next to the problems to tell you if you use the median on the sides or the centroid in the middle. And so these are a little different with the expressions. So first we have to determine like what the relationship is. So remember those two lines mean they're congruent. So that means that WS is actually equal to WT. Notice I wrote that right here. And then I just replace the WS and WT with the expressions that it gives me. So WS becomes 10x, WT becomes 9x plus 1, and then I have an equation that I know how to solve. And I'm just going to solve for x. It tells me to find x. And once x is by itself, there we go. So moving on to 38 and 39, but because we didn't really address this type of problem to this level of depth, I want you guys to skip these. So that would look like on the form, just randomly selecting an answer, and I'll just remove those from, give you credit for those because I don't need you to do these four. Right? If you have extra questions, please let us know on Remind Classroom. Go ahead and send us an email, whatever you need to do. Just let us know if you need help. And there'll be more examples and videos for other days coming later on. All right, guys. See ya.